Hey everyone, it's Shauna coming to you again from my home office this week. And I have something a little different for us today. This is kind of a hybrid between my From Shauna's Desk, which I haven't done for a while, and my COVID reflections videos. I got to thinking in the last few days about all the things that have changed. And there's a saying in English that says the devil made me do it. Well, I don't think it's the devil, but I can say that the COVID-19 stay safe at home made me do it. And I have a little game slash update slash what's been going on with me for the last little while. So play along if you want to. I'm going to throw up my items on the screen and you can make a mental checklist and see how many of these you've done as a result of the stay-at-home orders. I'll put, for those of you that watch the YouTube video, I'll put a link to the Google Doc below if you want to play along and see how many you've done. So let me share that at this time. These are no particular, but realistically, the first thing I had to do was to learn how to use Zoom, which is what this meeting is coming to you on right now. Learn how to use Zoom and the other alternatives, such as Google Hangouts. And I know that Zoom has become a sort of necessary evil at the moment. There are other alternatives to Zoom, and I probably will be looking into that, but they are trying to run around and fix their security flaws, and I respect that. I haven't had difficulty with my meetings, but the meetings that I run are fairly small, and that might be why. So that's one thing I've done. I've had to learn to use Zoom, and I had to learn to use it in very short order, but I'm actually enjoying Zoom and I find it to be very helpful. The second thing, if you saw the list, was I've had to order more stuff online and from different places than I would normally order it. We all know about Amazon. We've all probably ordered from Amazon digitally or physically or both. But I also started using Instacart recently, and there's some other things that are available that I haven't used in this isolation period, but I may very well use. So how many of those sources have you used? And the other thing is that because of the supply chain shortages and different things like that, I also have been in a situation where I've had to order more than I normally would. So as a consequence, I have huge amounts of stuff that I haven't been able to use yet, but I won't have. And then the other thing that I've done, and which there have been videos on much, there have been a lot of videos on this if you've been watching my channel of late, is you find things when you are in a space for far longer than you're used to. You find things that you forgot you had. And I've been reading books from my shelves that I nearly forgot that I had. And you've been seeing videos on some of those old books. The very first book chat video I ever did, the book about Martha Ballard, The Midwife's Tale, that I talked about. That book had been on my shelves to be read since 2011. So it was high time that I got to that book. And I'm glad that I did that. The Sisters Mortland had been on my bookshelf since I think 2012 or 13. So it had been around for a while. And also along the same line, I had when you read books that you forget you have, you also try to discover new books that you didn't know about. And so I've been using a lot of those. I've been using a lot of those elements to try and connect with that too. So I'm doing that. And also there's a couple of things by phone that you might have seen on that list. Of course, I mentioned staying in touch with people that you haven't talked to, and I've been able to do that recently. So thank you all for that. And I've discovered new games to play on my phone. One of the things that I do use and have used for quite a while is an app called Misplay, Mistplay. And it's a free app that you can install that has games. It may not have the games that you want, but I find the app interesting and entertaining, and it doesn't cost me anything, so hey, I'm all for that. Some other things that I've been doing besides that are doing, of course, starting this YouTube channel, which you've all helped me to maintain for the last 5 or 6 weeks now. I started this YouTube channel right after we learned about the lockdown, and we've been on increasingly stringent lockdown rules since the 15th of March, which means there are 16 days in March, and then there's another 28 days in April that have passed now. So 28 plus 16 is 44. So we're past the 7-week mark. The 6-week mark. We're coming up on the 7-week mark on Sunday. So it's been a minute. I'm a little behind with that. But also, having the YouTube channel, you find out stuff, and you find out stuff that you might not want to know. But it's led me to watch more independent news sources, especially the Epoch Times and a site on YouTube called China in Focus. It's a news program that specifically tends to focus on the validity of reports coming out of China. But it also does other stories too. I really enjoy that. They do a half-hour news broadcast that goes on YouTube daily, and then they put it up so you can watch it. It's really interesting. Another thing that most of us do, I rotate hobbies as if they were mental circuit training. So some of the hobbies that I've mentioned on this channel, some of the hobbies that I mentioned, I've mentioned surveys, and I've mentioned some of the sites where you can take surveys. I've been doing that, and I'm getting ready to cash out about $10 worth of survey money from that. And I also do stuff on my computer that goes kind of with my Zoom and with my new things that are going on in terms of that. I've had to learn a lot about my computer. I delve into the settings of my computer sometimes to fix things that are not working the way they should. So I've learned a lot about how to do that recently. And I also have learned to use different apps on my computer, such as Google Sheets, which I'm not very familiar with. It's a Google equivalent. It's in the Google suite. It's the Google equivalent of Excel, which I knew quite a bit about Excel. I know next to nothing about Google Sheets, but I recently had to make a time card on Google Sheets because I didn't have access to Excel. And so I'm learning about Google Sheets. So there we are. There's different things that we can all learn, I guess. And a couple of other things that I've done, which I'm sure we've all had to do, is so far I've been very fortunate. I've only had to cancel one appointment, which was an optometrist appointment, which was scheduled to happen just a few days after the shutdown. So I haven't been able to get an optometrist appointment, and so as soon as we open up that, I'll be able to go back and do that. But fortunately, I'm doing well. I'm healthy, and we're maintaining, so that's a good news. And I'm just what this 12 steps kind of boils down to is I've managed to some degree. You can judge for yourself how successful it's been, and time will tell only how successful it is. But I've managed to sort of reinvent how I do things around here and reinvent myself to some extent. So I'm looking forward to what the next few months will bring, as long as we don't focus too much on the negative in the pandemic and how closed in we are, because I've talked before about how detrimental that can be. So my question to you is, how did you score? I gave you 12 things that I've done that COVID made me do it. How many did you do? And what else should have been on this list but wasn't? Give me a like on the YouTube subscriber page. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and you won't miss a video. And drop a comment either in an email or in the comments field on YouTube, or the comments field in Facebook, and let me know how many of these things you've done. How many things has COVID made you do? Okay? Take care, everyone. I hope we're all well. I hope you're hanging in there with this pandemic life that we're living right now. And just hang in there. This too shall pass. Okay? Stay safe, everybody. Be healthy. And I'll talk to you very soon. Bye for now.